Hey everybody, IcyCat here once again with another in-depth operator profile. Today we're looking at Rook. He's a GIGN defender whose armor will help keep the rest of the team safe and make sure the attackers can't finish them off. We're going to take a look at him next. Rook is a defender and a member of the GIGN CTU. His primary weapon selection is really good, as is his backup secondaries. He's going to have a choice of two submachine guns. The first is the P90. It's very solid, and this is going to be my recommendation. The MP5 is also quite good, though, as is the SG CQB shotgun. For other stopping power, he's going to be packing a handgun for the revolver or the P9 semi-automatic. I'm just going to recommend the P9 because I don't personally enjoy the revolvers, but to each their own on that one. Choice of secondary gadget is really up to you, either one can be used. Now, Rook is not a complex character, and this is both a good thing and a bad thing. All you do in the beginning is you drop his armor pack and make sure the rest of the team picks him up. The hardest thing here is going to be to make sure that the entire team picks up their armor. There's usually at least a couple of guys that will wind up leaving some on the floor. And that's going to be a dangerous thing to do because the enemy can actually come along and pick up that same armor pack if you don't. But other than that, there's no real nuance to using Rook. And actually, this can be a really good thing. He's a very easy to use operator, especially for people that aren't used to the operator system. On the attacker side, you're going to have Glaz, whose special ability is to shoot a gun at a longer range, and that's easy to understand. For the defender side, you're going to have Rook, who drops the armor pack, and then after that, you're free to go about playing the level like you would any other shooter. He makes an excellent roamer for that reason. He can drop the armor pack, and then, he's a really good one if you have trapdoors above you to send him running upstairs to reinforce the trapdoors, because after he drops the armor and picks it up, he doesn't need to do much else. He can play very good objective defense, especially with his shotgun for putting holes in walls and encountering guys up close, but he's a very effective roamer as well. And he's just going to be a very simple to use character. He's not going to have any actual counters specifically. There's nobody with any armor piercing capability. And what the armor does is it actually allows you to take one extra bullet of damage. So, even if you have a lot of rounds coming at you, you're not going to necessarily notice that extra bullet difference. At least I tend not to, and most of the people I play with always kind of comment that it doesn't seem like Rook's armor does a whole lot. And from a damage absorption perspective, it doesn't. It just gives you the one extra hit. I would like to see it maybe give you a little bit more protection than just that. I think that that's a little underpowered to what he does. Where it's really effective, though, is Rook's armor gives you a higher chance for a down but not out status. And that's where it's really going to be helpful. With the DBNO status, you're going to be more likely to survive long enough to get a team revive. And because of this mechanic, he's going to combo very effectively with Doc. If you live longer for Doc to get to you, he's going to be more useful as well. So Rook's automatic combo is going to be with Doc. And again, there's nobody that specifically counters him. The play here has been with a shotgun, and as you can see, I made some pretty effective use of it before. None of the weapons are going to be anything I would consider bad, though. They're all very useful. I do enjoy using his shotgun just as much as the P90 or the MP5. I think that the barbed wire is maybe a little bit easier to have so you can deploy it and then be free to roam. And that is probably one of his bigger strengths outside of his gadget, is that you don't need to worry too much about tactics with him other than, the gunplay tactics or the team communication tactics. But you don't have to worry about how to use his gadget at what time, in what way, like you do with some of the other operators. And that's a really excellent thing. He makes a good running gun player. He makes a good objective defense player if you're camping on a position and defending. He's just all around very good for those kinds of things, no matter which way you want to play it. Because his gadget is a little bit more on the simple side of things, they've decided to give this character the 3 primaries with the 2 secondaries, and having that choice of 5 different weapons to go between will kind of make up for the fact that his gadget is maybe not as powerful as some of the other ones or as useful as some of the other ones. I hesitate to say it's not useful, though. It is actually very useful because having that team revive capability is going to be really critical in a lot of situations to be able to last long enough to get through the round. So that's definitely a good thing. There's not really that much else to say about Rook. He's a very solid and fun character, easy to use, not too nuanced, a great starter, and yet also works well with the team and can provide an essential role. A very good balance all around. So that's been our in-depth review of Rook. Tomorrow we're going to take a look at Ashe for this week's final in-depth operator profile. Next week we'll have even more content. If you enjoy these videos, please consider liking and subscribing to make sure that you stay up to date on all the latest news, info, and commentary on Rainbow Six Siege. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.